What's up, Soul Warriors, and welcome to Winning Wednesday Live with LC and you. Today we're going to be talking about 7 principles to live by, one of which is one day I'll be gone. Now, if you're watching this part of this broadcast, more than likely you're watching the replay, and I want to thank you for being a part of this process. I want to thank you for allowing myself and Recovery Soul Food being a part of your life and recovery journey. It's absolutely amazing to get to show up here and do this the way I get to do it. And I'm so grateful. So even though it's with kind of a heavy heart still from finding out about my friend not being here anymore, and this may be a hard video to get through because she won't be here in the comments today, we're going to take her legacy and really do this Winning Wednesday right by understanding and embracing the principle that one day I'll be gone, embracing that life is short and that we can live fully today, in this day, and to ask ourselves in every moment what legacy we want to leave here on this earth. How do we want to be known for what we're doing, and why put off tomorrow or one more day our happiness and the pursuit of our dreams? It doesn't matter what's in the past, really doesn't matter what's in the future. But right now, decide in this moment that you will not spend another second putting off your happiness and actually discovering and living in your greatness. So if you guys are all ready to get this Winning Wednesday started, I'm certainly ready. Please go ahead and share this video out. Like it. If you're on the YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you're not a subscriber there, then head to youtube.com/recovery soul food and go ahead and sign up. Hey, Facebook has a new deal where you can actually hit the bell beside, I don't know if it's my name or this video or what, but somewhere there's supposed to be a bell which actually turns on your notifications and has you subscribe on Facebook so that you always know when we put these videos up. So if you guys are ready, you know that I'm ready, so let's go. What's up, y'all? So great to see you this morning. Welcome to Winning Wednesday Live with LC and you. What's up, Maddie J, Angel McWright? It's so good to see you. Good morning, Mama. I love you. I love you. I love you. Headed to work. You're not supposed to be working today, Mom. You're supposed to be doing something else. Anyway. Oh, that's right. You are working off island today. Good morning, Janet McClanahan, and good morning, my brother, my friend, Joe Potosi, Jen Brownlee. Good morning. So good to see everybody. If you are here and I didn't call you out, then good morning, and good morning to everyone who will watch this later, regardless of where and how you watch. So yeah, man, this is a hard day. We're dealing with a lot of stuff. Seems like life is pulling the punches out right now for a lot of us. We're dealing with a lot of loss. We may be losing people in our families. We may be losing relationships. We may be losing jobs. We may be losing all kinds of things. And we're presented with this opportunity of seeing loss as suffering, or seeing loss as a brand new awakening, a way to awaken our own hearts and our own purpose and our own lives. And, you know, it's hard sometimes, especially when we lose people in our lives, not even just relationships, but when we lose people that are close to us to, you know, death. It's very hard sometimes to get surrounded about that and embrace that as a new opportunity. But I believe that in every ending, there is an opportunity for a new beginning. And even in death, there is an opportunity for us to really embrace our own lives today, because we get caught up in the race. We get caught up in competition. We get caught up in that herd mentality. We get caught up in societal's norms and what they say we should be doing, and we put our happiness and we put our dreams and we put our greatness off until tomorrow. So many times we let our happiness be wrapped up in another human being, in a job, in making money, in a purpose, so to speak, in what we do, and we get lost. We actually sometimes move farther away from our purpose, and we tuck our greatness down over here and say, well, I'll get to you tomorrow. I'll live my dreams tomorrow, because today I got to take care of my family, and today I got to do this for this person and do this for that person, and you know, nobody wants to hear what I got to say anyway, right? We deal with those fears, and we deal with that avoidance, and especially in the addiction and recovery community, we know about avoidance. You know, a lot of, active addiction is avoiding the feeling of our feelings, not because we're weak and we don't want to, mostly because we don't really know how. Not in a way that is healthy anyway. Good morning, Lana Rossman and Tracy Weber. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about how to take the opportunity from each one of these losses in the midst of our grief. Because here's the lie. The lie is that if you find a new opportunity in a bad situation, then you're not grieving. You know, and some will say, well, how can you smile at a time like this? Or how can you talk about inspiration and motivation at a time like this? Well, I know my friend Yvonne, that would be all she would want me to talk about in this moment. I would be getting an angry text from her right now if I did not talk about the legacy of service and how we can celebrate her life in this moment, because she's left us so many nuggets of greatness to implant in our own lives and build upon. You know, I mean, gosh, Yvonne was so dedicated to service in the recovery community that it causes me to look at my own level of service. And am I giving what I've got? Am I giving what's comfortable for me to give? And I can say yes today. But I don't want to spend this day in nothing but sad and depression over her life, because her life stood for so much more. And that's what it is in these losses that we have. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk about inspiration and motivation in the midst of this loss, because I have to celebrate all that this person was in my life. And I urge you to do the same. If you've lost a person, or my brother Joe Potosi just sent me a message that he's lost someone close to him. I mean, anytime life is pulling out all the punches on us and we think we can't take another thing, there is preparation in that. And that preparation lends itself to your purpose and whatever that is. And really, that purpose is to be your best self today. And tomorrow be better than today. And the next day be better than that day. That's recovery in a nutshell. Recovery is, I'm going to be my best self today. And the only person I'm going to compete with is that self. And tomorrow I'm going to be even better. And I'm going to keep growing. And I'm going to keep going and glowing and growing through all of these situations, because I'm not going to go back. Because what's the point of going back? We know where that road lives. So ask yourself today, can you leave your best self in each moment of this day? Now, what does your best self look like? Because there is no pressure of what your best self is. I mean, that's your definition. Because don't define your best self by somebody else's best self, or you're going to get caught up in a whole lot of comparison that actually just is a dream killer. Comparison is a dream killer. And how long has it been since you actually looked at your dreams? How long has it been since you actually looked at what makes you happy? And I know for me, coming out of such a long time of active addiction, trauma, living addicted to certain negative emotions, I had no idea that I even had the ability to dream. It was all covered up by the muck and mar of life and those emotions like regret and guilt and all of those ways that I was telling myself, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're never going to be okay because you've done too much damage. Well, I've seen houses and structures destroyed and brought back to life. That's right, Alicia. Resentment. And I've seen structures brought back to life. And that's what we are. We are a structure encompassing and surrounding a soul. And we can bring that structure back to life by building in the places that have the problems. Look, I work in construction. And many times when something gets damaged, we have to go in and find the damaged area and cut it out and put in new. And we don't start with the things that are okay. We don't look and say, okay, well, the roof's okay, so we'll start our work here. Because if we put paint and just cosmetic things over a rotten structure, then eventually it's going to rot the entire structure and the paint and the new cosmetics going to fall off. And that's what we do in recovery. We don't avoid the places that are hard. We run to the places that are hard in us. We go to our resentment. We go to our guilt. We go to our triggers. Because if we keep running from those triggers, let me tell you, they're right on your heel. And we can avoid them in the moment. But if we don't ever turn around and stand up to that thing that is chasing us, that disease of the mind, of the brain that is chasing us day in and day out, if we never stop running and turn around and say, what? Give me your best. Because you don't know who I am. You don't know what I've been through. I'm still standing. And I can conquer this, whatever it may be. I can grow through this and I can come out on the other side stronger and better. And I take this opportunity in losing my friend to examine my life and find out, where am I putting off my happiness? Where am I not living my best life? Now that's my best life. Where is fear standing in my way of stepping into something I feel called to do? Where? Because that's where I want to search the structure of my life. That's where I want to cut out those limiting beliefs. That's where I want to look at that fear in the face. That's what I want to cut out and replace with a new belief system that says, if anybody can do it, I can do it. We get so caught up in looking at what other people can do that we feel called to do and saying, well, I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm too young. I've done too much. I've got a criminal record. I mean, blah, blah, blah. We can go on for days. Days. What's up, Anne-Marie? Days. We can go on for days examining all the ways we can't. And yet all we got to do is find that one spark of why we can. And here's the spark. It wouldn't be in you if it wasn't possible for you. We have to know that embracing the idea that life is short, that we never know if this is going to be our last day or somebody that we care about. Do they know how much we care about them? I woke up this morning, of course, had a rough night of sleep, and I came into the coffee pot, and there is a note from my wife. Just a note. Said how much she loves me and appreciates me. And you know, it's little things like that that mean the world. It can be a text message. Sometimes I randomly feel to reach out to a certain friend and just send a text message, or a certain friend reaches out to me and they never know that it's in that very moment that they send that text that I needed to hear that. And we have to do those things that we feel pulled to do versus putting them off, because every time I put one of those things off, I find out later that, I should have been obedient. And it's really just small things that we can do one to another to create and reap and build that connection. And I love you, Bradley Bagwell and Martin John. I mean, these are two of the people in my life that always, always, always do that. Just randomly, I can be going through the toughest times and I get a text from one of those two people, and man, turns my day around right then. Or I feel called and led to send one to them. These principles that, that I try to live my life by, one day I'll be gone, and if others can do it, then I can do it. And nothing is worth it if it doesn't make me happy or better. And people think those things sound selfish, but it's not selfish in a way that it is bad, because when we are healthier and we are better, then those around us get the best of us. When we're giving out everything we've got to other people and other situations and projects that are not our passion projects, guess what? Nothing gets our best. We're building resentment every time we're doing something for this one and that one, and we're denying ourselves. So what is so good and grand about that? We have to reframe and flip the focus of what we believe is selfishness and what is actually self-healing. Because when we are our best, we give our best. And when we actually make that connection of what we feel led to do versus just what someone's expecting us to do, then wow. Then the connection you feel in that moment is bigger and brighter and better than anything that you could just do because you feel obligated to do. Always the other principle, and always being myself. I have to always be me. For all of the years that I spent trying to fit into society's norms, I was dying on the inside and didn't even want to live. So let me tell you that nobody was getting my best. They were getting the best of my mask, and that was it. And I was slowly fading away inside. We have to be ourselves. We were born with a unique fingerprint to make our own unique imprint in the world. Slash away the societal norms of what you should be doing, what success looks like, where you're supposed to be, and all of those things, and be who you were born and created to be. That's the biggest lie of all, is that there is actually some type of success checklist somewhere that if you get this and you get this and you do this and you are that, you're successful. While those people that look like they have all that, well, we lose them every day too, because you find out that you have all that stuff, you have all those people, but you don't have your uniqueness and embracing and loving yourself. So always, always be yourself. All that you need is within you already. Now, this was a hard principle for me to actually get my head around, because I was trying to live these things out of some type of order that was right for me. See, I was trying to live all you need is within yourself while I was still not living as myself. And I could not put those things together. That didn't compute within me, because I was still living under that place of coming out of active addiction, saying you're no good, you've ruined your life, you're too old to do anything special, just resign yourself to, live your days out. I mean, what kind of hopeless situation is that? And yet there are millions of people in this world today living that same existence. I can't, because fighting for their limitations. Have you ever tried to share some advice with somebody and they say, oh, man, that's not going to work for me. But I tried that 20 years ago and yeah, it just didn't work. Who were you 20 years ago? You're not the same person. When I came into recovery working on 8 years ago, y'all, I had tried everything already. But the one thing that I didn't have was the desperation to change and the willingness to let go of the old patterns and the old mindsets and the resentment and the pain and all of that stuff. I was not in that place where it was by any means necessary am I going to recover and live a life that I'm proud of and a life that I want to live out loud. Because all of a sudden, all those things that I had tried before worked different because I was different. Not because they were different, I was different. Oh my gosh, Bobby Lynn, I'm so sorry for your loss. See, I'm telling you guys, life is pulling out all the punches right now because we are getting prepped to move into these new cycles of health and well-being. And we've got to learn how, when we celebrate a life, that we celebrate what they mean to us and how their legacy can live in us and how they changed us and how we can be different in the world and how we can stand up. And a part of that is for them, because we've got to shatter that old belief that we've got to be completely sullen and completely just, devastated and down. And I'm not saying not to grieve, because we have to grieve and do that process, but do it in a healthy way. That yes, you're going to miss that person. And yes, you're going to have to accept some things, that meaning that, you won't get to pick up the phone and call that person, or you won't get to go to lunch or dinner or see that person at family get-togethers. But that person made an imprint on you. And as you continue to discover and release and become your greatest self, that they are a part of that. Because every one of us is a gumbo of many different inspirations and many different people that have influenced us. We never stand alone. We are never a human being that's standing alone, no matter what we think and what's in our immediate surroundings. And even if we are people that said we never had anybody there for us and everyone just, abused us and attacked us or left us or all these things, we are still a gumbo of every human being that has come through and touched us in our life. And it's all independent upon what we do with that information. See, I let a lot of those things, I forgot for many years about all the people that had really touched me in the most amazing ways. And I was purely focused on all the people that had touched me in devastating ways. But I never was able to look at that even though they devastated me, that I was still standing, and that somehow, some way, I survived that, and I could take the strength from that and turn it around in my life to walk through this life as a strong human being, not a marred, beaten victim human being. And that was all in my choice. It was all in my decision to do. And I want you to make a decision today in your life that you're going to embrace that one day you will be gone. And in the meantime, why put off one more second the pursuit of your happiness, your greatness, and all you dream to be? And it doesn't matter what your age is, what your past or your record looks like. That was one of the things that Yvonne Max taught me so greatly, is that though she had been steeped and loved the 12-step tradition so much, she loved it with all her heart. It was her path to freedom. She was also able to reach outside of that and learn how to, from somebody else, how to be grateful for everything in her life. When she first came on my videos 3 years ago, she was one of the first faithful people to always be there. Always. And she's been to every single video I've ever done ever. And she was the first person to start learning what I was talking about gratitude. And she started sending me her list every single day. And it was such an amazing thing to know that what I was sharing was touching a lady that was in her 70s. She was in her late 60s, 70 years old. That meant something to me, y'all. That drove my passion even deeper to keep going louder and prouder and keep coming, because that's something serious. Sometimes we give up on older people and say, oh, they'll never change their minds or their mindset. That's not true. It doesn't matter when we get the information. It only matters what we do with it. And whether you've got 100 years left in your life or 100 hours, it doesn't matter. Embrace your happiness, your best life right now, today, and live it full out. You deserve that. That is your biggest purpose on this earth. Your uniqueness. Hey, Pamela, it's good to see you. Oh, okay, I like that, Janet. Hold on, I'm going to throw some comments up here because y'all are on fire this morning. Yes, Janet. That's so passionate. That's so right. I mean, that's how I had to do it too, is just try to flip my thought processes and realize that I can either study the problem or I can study the solution. And there's so much more freedom in the solution. So much. Yes, Janet says I'm 56 and my mindset changes daily. Absolutely. You still got life in your body, which means there's more to what you have. There's more to learn. There's more to do. You know, never give up on yourself. Ever. 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 I like what Pam says too. Live a life that honors their life, that they would be proud of, and continue the legacy in your own flavor. Yes, use the strength they gave you to continue on to leave a positive impact. That is wise and amazing, because that's exactly, you know, I made that promise to my grandfather on his actual deathbed that I was going to change my life, live a life he would be proud of, and I was going to get it together. It still took me years to get it together, because in that conversation with him, I was still in an active addict mind. I was still suffering greatly in that mind, and I had no idea how I was going to live that promise. But I started having to realize that the greatest thing that I could do for him, his legacy, and that life, because I want to tell you, everybody had given up on me. My family, any friends I had, people I knew, I had already lost all of them because they had given up on me. They didn't know how to believe in me because I didn't know how to believe in myself. And that's what I had to do every single day, was put that promise in front of me and live a life that he worked hard to help me make a life I could be proud of. And I still do it every day. Every speaking engagement I go to, every news conference I do, every time I speak to the state legislature, I carry his picture in my back pocket. He goes everywhere with me, because I couldn't be here without the promise that I made to my grandfather on that fine day in 2008. I couldn't, and I wouldn't be. I love you guys so, so, so much. I really do. And I hope that you really know that and feel that. I don't have to know you personally. All I have to know is that we battle many of the same foes every single solitary day. And that gives us a connection that we have with not another human being. And I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you, Pamela, for that. I really hope so. And I want to see you guys just do everything that you're meant to do. You know, your past can be your platform to stand up and live loud, proud, and fully in your right now and your future. The world needs what we have. Y'all just don't know this yet. The world needs what we have. And the recovery community is going to come up and really, really, really help the world through this. I love you guys so, so, so much. Y'all get out of here and have the most amazing Winning Wednesday of your entire life, because you choose to, and yes, you are that strong and powerful. And I will hopefully see you guys Saturday night. Got some great guests coming up for y'all as we end out this season of the Recovery Soul Food Podcast. I just can't wait. Pamela's going to be one. I got Michael Weitzman coming up. He is a mental health advocate that just uses Stitch Comedy to help bring awareness to mental health. I mean, we've got some of the best. And Kareth Foster of You Can Be Perfect or You Can Be Happy is going to come back and end out the season for us with her amazing, amazing self. And I can't wait. You guys have made all of my dreams come true, and I want to see all of yours come true. So I'll see y'all Saturday. Have an amazing day.